1.
Welcome to the Enigma Daily. My name is Joseph, and today we're going to be diving into one of the most hot button topics going around right now. And that is the claims of UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrial entities living in our oceans, living in wherever. But however, I have some personal insight on this and I'm going to share with everybody, but let's get right into it. As you know how we do around here, we only talk about current topics. This went down September 7th, 2025, and another whistleblower slash, truther or whatever you want to call it, stepped forward with claims that the U.S. government is actually reverse engineering crashed alien aircraft. Now, I have been to a UAP UFO hearing. I have actually met several of these people in person. You can click the link tree in the bio, go on my Instagram or my TikTok and see the pictures of me, getting selfies with them out in the hallway. I have respect for these gentlemen, but I also disagree with these gentlemen. And I've actually had, wouldn't call it a feud. Lou Elizondo did mute me on X one time, but I thought it was funny. Lou's a nice guy. I actually met him and at the UAP hearings. However, I have some insight on this from firsthand knowledge and doing my own research on this. This all ties back literally when Lou Elizondo came forward. This guy named David Grush came forward who told Congress that, the U.S. has been running a multi-decade crash retrieval program for crashed alien UFO, craft, for lack of a better word that I'll put on it. Let's call it craft. And David Grush actually said that the craft were recovered intact, fully operational, but of an unknown origin. That's a lie. They know exactly where they're coming from. And anonymous military sources, which is no such thing. That just means the Pentagon is releasing it. Released this website called DefenseScoop interview in 2025 September, and I'll like we do around here now. Not my finger. Here's the actual article about this stuff. Now, I don't trust David Grush. And people, you might not know this because this is a new channel, but I was in naval intelligence for 9 years. I had a TSSCI clearance. I was a spook in the military. And I know what goes into TSSCI clearances. First thing you get when you sign a TSSCI clearance is a lifetime NDA that you will never talk about anything you ever did in the military without prior approval to the Pentagon. So when Lou Elizondo is answering questions and they ask him a question in Congress and he says, I can't answer that right now, it's classified, we need to talk. You're not a whistleblower. He just doesn't want to go to jail. And I agree with him on that. Anybody with the TSSCI clearance should not be disclosing things. It's not because it won't even make the news. You'll just end up in Leavenworth. But David Grush is a plant. Lou Elizondo is a plant. And they are doing some type of, it's actually having to change, it's starting to fail, disclosure program on it. Lou Elizondo's book, there's nothing in his books that has not been approved by the Pentagon. In fact, at the UAP hearing I was at, he even said it took me a year to get my book approved from the Pentagon. You're getting nothing. There is no anonymous sources. You're getting nothing. David Grush is a plant. You're getting nothing that the Pentagon doesn't want you to know. Now, according to these leakers, and they're leaking it on purpose, they want you to know that they have the following three things. Metamaterials, which is basically fragments that can bend light, don't absorb heat at all, stay cold. Because when you travel very, very fast through the atmosphere, the air itself will heat up the, whatever the material is. But this metamaterials doesn't absorb heat. Gravity manipulation devices, we've seen that all the time. You see people that, things that make turns that are impossible. Even when you watch Star Trek, they talk about this technology called inertia dampers, where you can make a quick turn or take off without being turned into dust, right? Same thing when you step on your gas in a car, it throws you back in the seat. Now imagine going from sitting still to supersonic like that. It would crush your internal organs. Energy sources that appear self-contained with no known power supply. Correct. These things don't run on fuel. They run off of the Earth's energy or the ether. It's exactly what Nikola Tesla talked about. Again, this is nothing new. It's just been everything you've been taught about your history and your life is a complete lie. They have this energy. Someone was on Tucker Carlson talking about the $37 trillion we have. We have these massive underground tunnels and cities that expand across the globe, powered on, technology that doesn't need any type of fossil fuel, right? This is all real. All this stuff is real. I'm not denying that. It's 100% real. 90% of the stuff you see in the sky is our stuff, U.S. military black ops stuff. There's a book that I highly recommend everybody go read. It's one of the first books I ever read about this topic. It's a book called The Day After Roswell. And the book talks about how they took the crashed material and gave it to different technology corporations with not letting them know what it was. They researched it, they reversed engineer it, and they came up with night vision goggles and all the stuff that we see. It's a great book. And that absolutely happens. And it happens like this. When generals and admirals get out of the military, they start their own, contracting companies. They go work for Lockheed and Martin, and they funnel Black Ops money in from their current buddies who are still active duty in the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This is the military industrial complex. Generals making other generals multi-billionaires. It's a fact. And it's been warned. Eisenhower talked about it, and I think it wasn't George Patton talked about it, and they all, got hushed down. So this stuff is real. This technology is real. And the reason why they don't tell you about it is because it's about control. It's about keeping you control. It's about keeping the multi-trillion-dollar oil industry going. It's about keeping all this other stuff, keeping the whole planet into a consumer nation where a very, very small percent of the population has control. It's not even a new idea, actually. It's one of the pillars of Freemasonry, actually, and all of the secret societies that the uninitiated. And again, I used to be a Freemason. I can argue with you guys all day about that. Very top, they tell you that Satan is the light bringer. He's Prometheus. He's the one that woke us up in the garden. It's a whole perversion. It's basically a flip of everything you have going back and forth. Now, everything that they're talking about is true. And this is a good article. Again, it's in the description of the video. You should go take it out and look at it. But I'm going to tell you exactly where the lie is. This isn't extraterrestrial technology. This is not it at all. This technology is from the beings who currently live on the earth, and in the oceans, just like the book of Revelation says. Book of Revelations also talks about that. It also talks about how at the end of days, you'll see wonders in the sky. And you'll see, describe beings descending from heaven, beings coming out of the oceans. They're already here. They've been here the whole entire time. They are much, much older than us. And again, this is the question that we should be asking. And people ask me, how do they crash? How do they knock them down? We have a way to knock these things down. We've had it since the 50s. The Roswell crash wasn't lightning hitting it. We knocked it, whatever it was, out of the sky. Now, they live on the earth. They may be, interdimensional beings, but they live in the physical realm of the earth, and you have to abide by the laws of physics on the earth. Traveling. So these craft that they use to travel from, under the oceans or wherever have to, go by our laws, right? And I forget the name of it. I think I forget what it's called, but I've seen pictures or videos of these craft, doing Mach 7 times faster than the speed of sound and going into the ocean and not even making a splash. And that's because of the technology that's around them, some type of field, some type of electromagnetic field. And again, this is all Nikola Tesla research. Nikola Tesla is the greatest physicist ever to live, theoretical physicist, and he actually created stuff. He was on to something, right? And, like 80% of the inventions that we use, with electronics are Nikola Tesla's. You can go look that up. You can challenge me on that. So this isn't alien technology. This isn't alien recovered vehicles. It's whatever's currently here. And either we have a deal with them to give us those vehicles, or we are knocking them down out of the sky somehow, and we are reclaiming them. And this reverse engineering is possible. Under the government restrictions, that's why they keep changing the name of government programs every 3 to 5 years. Project Pegasus will become Project Water Bottle, and it's the same thing. You just have a new general in charge of it, and they have to go forward and ask for new money. And black projects aren't known through, doesn't have to be made known to the public, right? So This is real. This technology is real. You're looking at a soft disclosure. They're pushing it's already failed. They're pushing the fake alien invasion so hard, but people are just, too many people are up for it, and too many people are struggling for their day-to-day lives to actually care about it. No one is biting on the fake aliens anymore, right? These beings are on the earth already. Stop looking up and stop looking down. Again, this is going to make everybody some people upset. The earth is not flat, but the firmament is real. We cannot leave this contained environment. We've never been to the moon. We're never going to Mars. It's not happening. Scripture's talking about how the sky rolls back like a scroll in the book of Revelations. Those are portals. The only way in and out of this firmament is through a portal somehow, right? And space is not a void. It's not water either. It's the ether, just like Nikola Tesla talked about. It's some kind of substance up there, but it's not water. We described it as water in the Bible. And again, I'm a Christian and I'm well aware of the biblical, text that go into that. They were describing it as water. It's not water. It's something else. It's a fluid of some type, but it's not water. So anyways, you know how we do around here. This is a brand new channel. We're a sister channel of the Ancient Enigma Files. If you want to see our long form content, go back to the landing page, go over there, give us a follow, check that all out. But again, if you're finding us for the first time here, we're trying to build the algorithm and dial in the art of giving you quick 8, 10, 15-minute videos. We go live Monday through Friday talking about conspiracies, UFOs, cryptids, biblical falsehoods, biblical lies, things that have been told to us wrong throughout our history, the book of Enoch, all that fun stuff. So if you have any suggestions on how we can improve this content, please leave that in the comments below. You give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. It doesn't matter, but please just let us know the reason why so we can adjust the product and get things dialed in to make it more enjoyable for everybody. So see you tomorrow. And we're out.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.